Lauren Blake thought firing Daniel Reed was the boldest decision of her career. As operations manager at a manufacturing company in Detroit, she believed Daniel, a single father, was too old-fashioned. She ignored his years of experience, his warnings about machinery, and the respect he had earned from coworkers. Daniel had worked at Sterling Industries for 8 years. Every single morning, he arrived before sunrise, checked production equipment, and left only after everything was safe. His teenage daughter Emma depended on him, so he valued steady work more than promotions. Daniel never complained, even when managers overlooked his contributions. Lauren believed efficiency mattered more than loyalty. When several machines began causing delays, she blamed Daniel without carefully reviewing his maintenance reports. Daniel calmly showed her records proving he had warned management repeatedly. Instead of investigating, Lauren accused him of resisting change and scheduled a termination meeting that afternoon. Inside her office, Lauren placed termination papers across the desk. Daniel read them quietly, then asked whether she had reviewed his maintenance recommendations. Lauren said the decision was final. Daniel gathered his belongings, thanked her for the opportunity, and carried his toolbox through the factory while employees watched sadly. Lauren felt victorious. She invited several managers to a lunch and announced that Daniel's departure would improve productivity. They congratulated her, and she proudly described herself as a decisive leader. None of them noticed the warning lights appearing across the production floor as machines continued operating without Daniel's careful supervision. That afternoon, Sterling's CEO, Richard Hale, arrived unexpectedly from the company's Chicago headquarters for inspection. He walked through the factory and immediately noticed unusual equipment alarms. Workers looked nervous. Richard asked Lauren what had happened. She proudly explained that Daniel had been fired, expecting praise. Instead, Richard became completely silent. Richard finally asked, "Where is he?" Lauren hesitated. She explained that Daniel had already left. Richard looked toward the machinery and asked whether anyone had reviewed Daniel's maintenance logs. Lauren admitted she had not. Richard ordered the records immediately at once, and within minutes his expression became deeply concerned. The reports showed Daniel had predicted nearly every problem now affecting production. He had requested replacement parts, documented dangerous pressure readings, and recommended shutting down aging equipment. Management had rejected his requests to save money. Richard realized Daniel had not caused the delays. He had prevented far worse failures himself. Richard ordered an emergency shutdown and instructed security to locate Daniel. Meanwhile, Daniel was at home helping Emma prepare dinner. He was worried about finding another job, but refused to complain. When his phone rang, Richard personally apologized and asked Daniel to return immediately as an emergency technical consultant. Daniel initially refused. He explained that being dismissed publicly had embarrassed him and placed his family's financial stability at risk. Richard understood and offered fair compensation, full technical authority, and protection from unnecessary management interference. Daniel considered the offer carefully, then agreed to return only if worker safety came first. The next morning, Daniel walked back into Sterling Industries carrying his toolbox. Employees greeted him warmly. Lauren stood nearby, visibly uncomfortable. Richard gathered everyone and publicly admitted that the company had made a serious mistake. He appointed Daniel to lead the emergency repair team and gave him authority over maintenance. Daniel immediately inspected the damaged machinery and discovered a failing pressure valve that could have caused a catastrophic accident. He ordered technicians to shut down the affected line. His calm instructions prevented panic. Lauren watched silently as workers followed Daniel without hesitation, realizing how much trust he had built over 8 years. An internal audit later revealed that Lauren's department had repeatedly chosen cheaper replacement parts, despite Daniel's recommendations. Richard confronted her about the decisions. Lauren admitted she had been desperate to appear successful and had blamed Daniel because he seemed easy to remove. Richard told her leadership required listening, not finding convenient targets. Weeks later, production returned to normal, and Sterling avoided a devastating loss. Richard promoted Daniel to Director of Facility Reliability, giving him authority earned through years of service. Lauren apologized sincerely, and Daniel accepted without bitterness. He remained focused on protecting workers, supporting Emma, and proving that quiet dedication can change everything.